Sanbonani ninjani. Nami nyaphila. First of all, I apologize, Nyatolisa, because it's been a while since I've posted some lessons in here. It's been a bit of a hectic past month, but we are back and we are carrying on with our lessons. Continuing on, the last lesson was on the similarities between SiSwati and English, and today we're going to talk about the differences between the two languages. This is really important because it helps you anticipate some rules that will be different, and so that as you approach SiSwati from someone who speaks English or in comparison to English, you're mentally prepared for these things to be different. So here are a few. The first is regarding pronouns. So in English, we have he and then we also have she. Those are pronouns that refer he to a male, she to a female. In SiSwati, the equivalent of that is just one word. Whether it's a male or a female, we just say u. U means he or she. So in SiSwati, we would say uyaphila. And that could mean he is fine. It could also mean she is fine. So he or she in SiSwati is one word, u. Another difference between SiSwati and English, still when it comes to pronouns, is that in English we have the word you. And we could say you in reference to one person. I could be talking to you and say, how are you? But in English, I could also be talking to you and your friends, and I would say, how are you? Inferring or meaning, how are you guys? In SiSwati, that you is two different things. So if it was just one person, it would be u. I would say, unjani, how are you? One person. But if I was saying, how are you to a group of people in SiSwati, I would actually change the pronoun from u to ni, and it would be ninjani in SiSwati. How are you to a group? So that's the second difference. You for one person, you for two people or more is actually two different words in SiSwati. And here's one big one that is quite a big difference again with pronouns. So in English, we just have one word, it. When we are referring to a thing, if it is not a he or a she, we just say it. If we're referring to the book, we would say it. If we're referring to the car, we would say it. If we're referring to a non-living thing, we just use it. Well, in SiSwati, that pronoun it changes based on the noun. There's a whole lesson around that, but basically, you look at the noun and the beginning of the noun, and then you change the pronoun based on the beginning of the noun. I'll give you an example. If I was talking about umfana, let's actually do another one. If I was talking about umshanyelo, a broom, I would say umshanyelo umnyama, the broom is black. But if I was talking about the key, sikia, I would say sikia simnyama. Again, there's a whole nother lesson about that, so don't worry too much about the rules of how you change the pronoun it, but make a note of the fact that in English, we just say it for everything that is not a living thing, that is not a person. In SiSwati, there is different forms of it depending on the noun. So those are a few differences. Let's move to a few more differences, this time when it comes to sentences. So in English, we have the verb to be, which in our sentences would be is or am. For example, I am learning. That's what we would say in English. In SiSwati, we don't have the equivalent of the verb am or is. So if you were saying, I am learning, if you were saying that sentence in SiSwati, you would say, Ni yafunza. Ya does not mean am. It's just a word we put in there and it comes out, and you can look at another lesson that I've done previously that talks about ya, when to use it and when not. But basically, there is no am or is in SiSwati. And here's where you see it more and where it gets even more interesting is in English, we have the present tense, I learn. And we also have the present continuous, I am learning. Well, in SiSwati, that is one tense. It's the same thing. Niyafunza can mean I learn. And niyafunza can also mean I am learning. Is it sounding a little bit confusing? I understand. Like I'm saying, these are differences. And it's just good for you to make a note of them so that as we go through the lessons and as we learn these different things, you're mentally prepared. Kind of like knowing there's some speed humps coming up, and so you slow down and prepare yourself. So these are a few of the speed humps. All right, let's do one more. Another speed hump or another difference between particularly SiSwati and English is that in English we have the articles a or the. For example, we would say a pen or the pen. Well, in SiSwati we don't have that. Or you could say in SiSwati it comes included in the noun. For example, if we were saying a dog in SiSwati, we would just say inja. Inja means a dog, but you can't separate. You don't see the and the dog as two separate things. It's just inja. And you could kind of say as well that that a changes because what you have in SiSwati when we do nouns is each noun has a class, and so each noun has a different beginning. You have inja, a dog, likati, a cat, situlo, a chair, and all of those little e and c and li, the noun classes are kind of like your article, but not really. So in short, we don't have articles in SiSwati. You just have your word. It comes as is, inja, dog, or a dog. Different to how in English we would actually have the article. I hope these things have been helpful. If they felt confusing, that is not a problem because that is the whole point of this. These things are different to how we do it in English, and this just helps you anticipate them, prepare for the speed hump so that as we continue to learn, you can give yourself a break, strengthen yourself, and get ready for the tough lessons and learn the new language and the new rules that come with it. Thank you for joining. Looking forward to the next lesson. Make sure that you're practicing, looking back on previous lessons. If you would like more in-depth lessons, sign up. There's a link in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and do more lessons with you. Sitaw ko na.